Welcome back. Yes, I'm sure you enjoyed the break, but now make sure that I have your undivided attention because I'm doing something very, very important. And it applies to all accounting learners out there. So watch the space. The R1 carrying value. And I'm going to do this by citing an example and working the example with you guys so you have a clear perspective. You know exactly how to handle this question whenever you are working through any accounting past paper. It's called the R1 carrying value. Here goes. If the asset has a cost of 200,000, that's given information, and it has an accumulated depreciation of 180,000. Now clearly you can see that if you look at the two components of this asset, its positive value is 200,000. In other words, its historical cost. Number two, the 180,000 is the negative asset, that part of the asset that has been utilized already. Got that? Right, what are we told? We are told that we must write off depreciation at 10% per annum, right? And we are told that we have to write this off at the cost price. Let's take this into consideration. One, amongst the hints that you could be given is that the asset is old or it has reached the end of its useful life. Got that? So that's an important bit of information that must be utilized. Let's do the calculation. We start off with art. You remember it, don't you? The amount, the rate, and the time. Let's go for it. 200,000 times 10%, which is my rate of depreciation, times 12 over 12. That is, we've used the asset for the entire year. The answer that I get in my calculation is 20,000 Rand. Clear? Right. Now, let's look at the entry. If my depreciation must be written off at 20,000 Rand, this means that my cost, remember, remains unchanged. It's the historical cost method. Number two, my accumulated depreciation now goes to 200,000 Rand. How did that happen? I had an accumulated of 180,000, you recall, plus the depreciation that I'm writing off now of 20,000 Rand, giving me an accumulated of 200,000 Rand. Watch this now. Does this mean that my carrying value is now zero? Why? Because a cost of 200,000 minus an accumulated of 200,000, simply, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure this one out. 200,000 minus 200,000 is zero. Is this possible? Come on. Definitely not possible. Why is that? Can I say that this beautiful pen of mine is worth nothing? Certainly not. So by definition of an asset, which is something that has value, can I say that the motor vehicle is still an asset if it has a value of 0 rands? Come on, accounting learners, that by definition, our definition becomes flawed by us saying that the asset is worth 0 rands. So what do we then do? We're faced with a challenge, aren't we? Because there are no problems in accounting. There are only challenges. So what is the challenge? Watch. Let's do this. Our cost price cannot change. Historical cost remains at 200,000 Rand. My accumulated depreciation, I tweak it. In other words, ignore the 20,000 that you calculated and make your depreciation such for this year that you make it 19,999 Rand. Watch what's going to happen. If I now add the 180 plus the 19,999 Rand, I'm now left with an accumulated depreciation of 199,999 Rand. Got that? Brilliant. And there, wow, what do we have? Watch. A cost price of 200,000 minus an accumulated of 199,999 Rand, therefore giving me a carrying value of 1 Rand. What does this mean to you now? It means, 1, the asset has reached the end of its useful life. In other words, yes, we are still utilizing the asset in the business, but its value has now reached 1 Rand. So clearly you can see that when you are faced with a scenario like this here, in the exams, in any calculations that you are doing, an asset can never be equal to 0. Okay, so what does this mean? Let's wrap up. The moment your accumulated depreciation becomes equal to or more than the cost price, ignore the figure and remember a carrying value of 1 Rand. I'm sure you got it. Don't go away. We'll be back with you in a while.